Tom, what a lovely sunny day. I'm looking forward to this one.
Hello there, good morning to you too. Welcome back to Fournilwrittenalloverit. It's the start of a extremely busy week here on the channel.
Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday.
Given that there is so much going on, it would be silly to not be subscribed.
I would suggest if you subscribe, you'll get notification of the channel.
You won't necessarily. You got to put your notifications on to do that, which you should also do, by the way. So I'm glad you brought that up.
I brought that up to remind people to put the notifications on.
That was absolutely your...
Bang on, that was my contribution.
You were trying to do that, weren't you?
Success.
Yeah, absolutely. We are off to the capital for our first league meeting with Millwall at the Den in 13 years. I am pleased to tell you all that we are less than 500 subscribers away from the big 20k. Getting pretty close now. Touching distance.
Yes.
The likes have slipped ever so slightly from the lead season high. We want to get back into the 1,000 zone.
We'd like no less than 1,500 likes. 1,500.
Oh wow, up in it.
That's my target.
Millwall are a strong side, and under the stewardship of Alex Neil, could go back into the top 10 with a win today. Can we chat about our away record?
Not really. I'd rather not.
We've lost 9 of the last 10 away from home, taken 10 points from 19 games on the road all season. We have the second worst away record in the Championship.
Yeah, that's not that good, is it?
Having said all that, we will still be backed by a sold-out away end today, and what a great opportunity to change it. Do you remember the last time we were backed by a sold-out away end of around 2,000 in an upper tier of a London away end?
Yes, I do, Tom. It was QPR and we won 2-1.
We did, and that was one of the very few away wins we've had. So let's emanate that today.
Oh, indeed.
The famous man off the podcast and TalkSport, can I just say as well?
TalkSport now,
representing the boys and girls. How are we?
I'm good, mate. You?
Very well, very well. He said I'm looking dapper, which is kind of him. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. First goal wins the game.
Definitely. It's going to be itty, bitty, gritty game.
This chap has just offered to pay for a burger for me, which is very kind of him. Thanks, mate.
Love you, Tom.
I really appreciate that.
I think 3-1.
Nervous, mate, because we need it.
Come on, let's do it. 1-0.
It's 3 lads, Jeff. We're at the back. We're right at the back. Completely unintentionally, we are right at the back.
I'm not sure there's a lot to assess. Not the easiest of watches. For whatever reason, I mean, it's well documented, isn't it, that, you know, a few weeks ago Millwall came to Fratton Park and they sat in and sort of nullified our press, and you can't really accuse them of doing that to the same degree in front of their own supporters. Our press isn't working in quite the same way it has done and can do.
There's a period in the middle of the game where it just felt like Pompey would kind of play it till you lose it, and then we'd get broken on and then have to do some really dogged defending, which we did well in parts.
We're not losing yet, so that's all I can say. We haven't played that well. Probably the worst I've seen us play for a long time.
You can see that although what Millwall have offered up going forward looks fairly innocuous at the moment, one of those corners, of which there have been half a dozen or more, eventually is going to be a delivery that hits the sweet spot, and that's a risk. So,
But no, I still fancy our chances, but we've been in this position many times before where we're coming into the second half with hope, especially away from home, and it's cost us a lot of times, hasn't it, after the full-time whistle.
I would like to see us gamble a little bit more in this second half and see where we go.
Preston in my head. I'm sure everyone else is here. Oh. It's going to make it look like I literally filmed that clip now. I said I was feeling Preston. There it is. Thoughts?
Shoulda, coulda, woulda won, but we didn't. Again, is what it is.
Right then, where to start with that? It's 2 wins in 20 away league games for Pompey this season in the Championship, and given that there aren't, there's a nice view of the Shard up there, given that there aren't actually that many away games left to go, Dan, I'm struggling to see when we're going to see us score or even win again in that third kit. It's actually Christian Sadie now still... Oh no, actually. No, we have another man to add to the collection. Andre Dezelle and Christian Sadie both scored in Pompey's third kit this season.
Yes, that's true.
If you can't tell we've lost again, viewers, there's there's where we're clutching.
That was last August when Sadie scored. He's bracing that shirt, Tom, and we haven't lost a 3 o'clock home league game since last August either.
This is true. You may well be sat at home, viewers, thinking, wow, why are they maintaining such a calm? And I think Dan's probably going to lay into us in a moment when I throw to him. It has happened again. The phrase, or the saying, the adage, once bitten comes to mind, because it was almost a carbon copy. And okay, the second goal doesn't come as quite as a disaster as Preston, but I was just thinking, as soon as we got back into it, and you actually turned to me and said, right, keep your heads now, concentrate, because Preston. And I turned to Reece literally just before that goal went in from the set piece. Again, another set piece, another sort of questionable command of a 6-yard box. I turned to Reece and said, every single person in this away end is probably thinking Preston, Preston, Preston over and over again in their head, in terms of a game in which you work so hard to get back into, and then all of a sudden the rug's just pulled from underneath you and you just collapse to the floor. And actually there was, again, I'm saying the same thing as I did after Preston, Dan, but there was nothing about Pompey that told me north of 2-1 that we were ever having any chance of getting back into that game. And it took us the equaliser, no, it actually took us going 1-0 down to create anything all afternoon.
You know, my biggest frustration coming away from this football match, Tom, is that why do we need to go 1-0 down to even start asking a question, buying a ticket to win the raffle? You know, I spoke at half time about one of those innocuous corners. You throw enough of them in there, they're going to find a sweet spot. You know, Millwall's front four, Honeyman, Ivanovic, Connolly, you know, those three in particular were very, very, without being spectacular, they were very, very solid today. Worked well for their team, gave them options to go through the gears through the middle of the park. You kind of felt that there's a goal coming if they put the ball in the right areas often enough, as I always say. And so it came with the first goal. I'm sort of pleased to say we got a response, but what happened for the first hour of that football match, you know, I don't know in terms of us going forward. But yes, we got a response, and all I could hear from that point on, in terms of my analysis of this match, Tom, is John Messino's post-match against Preston ringing in my ears, where he talks about liking the response to us going behind, but not liking the response to us having pulled level. And credit to Millwall, Tom, I would say, in that they've done their job today. From their point of view, without being spectacular, I would argue that they've done everything right. They asked more questions than us, and ultimately that's why they've won the football match. Can't really have any arguments with the result, Tom. Frustrating, and yes, from a result point of view, the way the game's played out, it feels Preston-esque. I really hope now that we get something from Coventry or Derby. I mean, you know,
between 1 and 3 points this week is what I think we absolutely needed.
If nothing comes from Coventry, you've got to look at it and say that puts a lot of pressure on the home performance against Derby, who, by the way, it's not a coincidence anymore for me that everywhere John Eustace goes, you know, teams start picking up results. Not saying we're not capable, but today we lost to the team who asked more questions.
Absolutely gutted, mate. That's what it is. Get back into the game. We've seen it so many times. The carbon copy of Preston away, innit? At the end of the day, just a different location. Pompey's been like it all season. That's why we've been relying on a home form. Disappointing, just like every other Pompey fan. But we go again. 6 games to go.
Only a 4-point gap.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it? We've got to rely on our home form now.
Tom, yeah, looks make up. I must admit, Andrew looks a lot better though.
Thanks very much. 1 down, 2 to go here on a busy week on Fournilwrittenalloverit. It's
My grandma, sorry.
What's your grandma's name?
Patricia Grishy.
Hello, Patricia. How's it going? Is she subscribed?
Right, Patricia subscribed. Cheers, Patricia. Appreciate that.
Well done, Trish. We need a couple of wins, don't we, still?
It's all getting a little bit squeaky bum time, Andrew.
Well, we've got Coventry away. We've got to get something there, and we've got to something against Derby. I just want to get out of London, mate, now. I've just had enough.
If I'm grading it, it must do better. Let's go to Coventry and see what we get. Hopefully we won't be sent there.
Back the elation.
The train's here, Andrew.
As we were in Preston.
Hang on, the train's here.
Get ourselves up.
Hurry up, the train's here.
We've got to get on the train.
Thanks for joining us. Keep the faith, and as always,
Pompey.
Go south, there's a team down